Hey, welcome. Today, we're going to dive into something really fascinating, a powerful way of thinking about prayer that comes from this fictional philosophy called Arreqqanarra. And look, this isn't about superstition or divine intervention, not at all. It's a really practical framework for setting a direction in your life and understanding the answers you get, even when, they're not the ones you were hoping for. It all kicks off with a feeling I think we all know way too.
Yeah, I think we've all been there, right? It's just such a universal feeling. You pour your heart out for something, you're hopeful, maybe even a little desperate. And then, nothing. Silence. The door you wanted to swing wide open stays firmly shut. It can be so disappointing, and honestly, it can make the whole idea of prayer feel kind of pointless. But what if? What if we're looking at the whole thing completely backwards?
Okay, so this is really the starting point for the Arreqqanarra way of thinking. It suggests that all that frustration we feel comes from a huge misunderstanding of what an answer even is. See, the idea is that we get so hung up on the external result that we completely miss the actual response that's happening. And that one line, it just stops you in your tracks, doesn't it? It forces you to just pause and think. I mean, how can something be answered if you didn't get what you wanted? It sounds like a contradiction. And that's the big puzzle we're going to unpack right now.
All right, to get this, we have to do a total 180 in how we think about prayer. The Arreqqanarra philosophy basically says, stop thinking of prayer as asking for a favor from some outside force, and instead see it as an internal act, an act of setting your own course.
And here it is, the big reframe. So a prayer isn't about trying to get reality to bend for you. It's about declaring your intended direction inside the reality that's already here. You're not asking for a miracle. You're actually just aligning yourself. You're making your own path forward crystal clear. It's a really subtle shift, but wow, it changes everything.
So this is where it gets really practical. You stop asking that one simple yes or no question, did I get it? And instead, you kind of become a detective of your own inner world. You start asking different questions, better questions. What moved? What changed inside of me? What came into alignment because I made that declaration?
Okay, so if the answer isn't some prize you get, then how in the world do you know it's even happened? Well, the Arreqqanarra have a really clear system for this. It's not about looking for signs and wonders out there in the world. Nope, it's about looking for real, tangible shifts inside you.
And they actually have 3 key signs to look for. Okay, first up, a change in your behavior. A character in the source material realizes, I didn't chase it, I didn't push. That new restraint? That is the answer. Number 2, a reduction in resistance. You know that inner static, the anxiety, the compulsions, it just gets quieter. And finally, number 3, an increase in coherence. This one's huge. A real answer doesn't make you betray yourself or create even bigger messes down the road. It actually makes you more whole.
Now, this part is just as important. What is not an answer? Because it's really easy to fool ourselves here. Seeing a certain name pop up everywhere or just feeling a sudden rush of excitement, that's not it. I love how the source material puts it. That's attention, not response. That's a great line. Real answers, they're measured by actual change, not by some random coincidence.
All right, now we're getting to the real heart of this whole thing. What about those times when the door just stays shut? When you absolutely do not get the thing you wanted? This philosophy suggests that sometimes the most powerful answer you can get is a no, because that no is actually protecting you.
Just let that sink in for a second. So the answer isn't a thumbs up or thumbs down from the universe. The answer is that new strength you find inside yourself, that ability to stop pushing for something that deep down you know would damage you or make you less of who you are. The restraint itself, that is the answer.
And this is the question that just changes the entire game. It takes that so-called unanswered prayer and reframes it, not as a failure, but as a rescue mission. It forces you to think about the consequences you couldn't see, what would have cracked, what would have shattered if you'd actually gotten what you wanted right then and there.
And here's the gut punch of a realization. The thing that would have broken was something essential. Maybe your own integrity, a relationship that meant the world to you. Something that once it was shattered, you could never, ever fix. That closed door, it wasn't a rejection. It was a shield.
So this is really the core takeaway, the big idea. We're always looking for answers, like they're trophies we're supposed to win. But what this philosophy teaches is that real answers are more like guardrails. They're safeguards that keep us whole,
preserving who we are, even when we can't see the danger we're walking right towards.
So, okay, how do we take this big, powerful idea and actually use it in our own lives? Make it a tool? Well, the whole thing really boils down to one final guiding principle.
And this is it. This is the beautiful summary of the whole thing. See, fulfillment isn't about forcing your will onto the world. It's about finding that path you can walk with your integrity intact, the one that lets you stay whole. It's about aligning yourself with what's true and sustainable, instead of forcing what you desire, but what might actually be destructive.
And so, I want to leave you with that same pivotal question. Think about a time you wanted something so badly, a door you just kept knocking on and it never opened. With all this in mind, I want you to ask yourself, what was being protected? What would have broken if you'd gotten exactly what you asked for? The answer to that question? Well, it just might be the most important one you ever find.